completely off. Yeah. Okay.
You can't handle the truth.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What is happening? This is Thomas Freeme and the Thomas Freeme TV and podcast show, Saturday Night Special. How is everybody doing tonight? I pray that everybody is blessed, everybody's comfortable, everybody's having a good weekend. You had a good week, and like I say, my message that we stay out of our emotions and we don't fall subject to what's going on. We start getting back into our communities and start giving back, and start helping out. We need it. So that's the premise of my podcast. I have a great show for you tonight. I have a special guest, a very dear friend of mine who, we done a little bit of time together and got kind of close, bonded inside or whatnot. And we had a mutual friend. And tonight's show is dedicated to this gentleman, Freddy J. Chainsaw Low is what we got to know him out here, but inside we knew him as old Freddy J, and or just Low. Low was he was paralyzed from the waist down. He was out on the court one day. He grew up in South Florida, and was out on the basketball court one day. There was a drive-by shooting, and he just caught a stray bullet. And from that point on, he was paralyzed from the waist down. But we'll get into all of that, who Low was. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about what I know that Low would want me to really bring a lot of attention to, and that is the medically frail in prison, the handicapped, those dependent on health care, things of that nature. So with that, I'm going to switch over now and pray that all of this works through and bring on my good friend, Big Mike. What's going on, partner?
Hey, man, ain't nothing, man. Just chilling, man. Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Man, it's I just wanted to do this. It's been on my mind for a minute, and Low's on my mind every day. I think about Low.
Right.
And I wanted to do a tribute, a shout out to him, because he was a big influence on me, especially refining me, getting ready to come home. Low was a big part of helping my process come home. And, I'll always be forever grateful for that. But let the people know who you are a little bit so we know who we're talking to.
Well, Big Mike from Miami. I was born there, raised in South Carolina, went back to Miami, got in a little bit of trouble, just like everybody else. That's where we came from. So, and ended up met a lot of good people when I got locked up. So, Low, Tom, everybody. I mean, so hey, it's all good. It was all good. I mean, I met a lot of good people there. A lot of good people, and I can't say enough about that. I really can't. People like they think different of people in prison, but nah, it ain't, because we made some choices, and it wasn't the right choices, and we got in a little bit of trouble, but I don't think it would. The people that I met was good people. They were really good people, man. We went the wrong direction, but we were it was really good people. So I can't trip off that.
Yeah,
So
it's just that it was an experience, like,
yeah, it really was.
and it was, you know, it's nothing that I would give back. Like you say,
Yeah,
I met a lot of good people, man, and I grew in prison. I became a true man in prison.
for sure.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I became a true man. I went to prison thinking I was a man, but I came home a true man, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what led me into what I'm doing today. But how long did you do, Mike?
I did 13 years.
13 years on a
Yeah.
conspiracy is like me, right?
Yeah. Did 13 years, had a 30-year bid, and so 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 it had it that oh Lord, hold up for a minute. So it had it that things worked out that I didn't have to do it. You know we had Obama to come in and threw a lot of stuff in the crack law, this and that, and it was so it worked out for me
Yeah,
because I would have been still in right now. So
yeah,
so it worked out for me pretty good.
yeah. No question, no question. I mean, that's
Mm.
Obama. With the 2-level reduction, you know, is
Yeah.
ultimately what sent me home 4 years
Yeah.
earlier. It sent a lot of people home, man. It was,
Mm.
you know, those last couple years in Miami was when that came, it changed the ambiance, it changed the aura. At least in that prison, it did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was people could feel a change. You know, I
Right.
mean, I did 13 years, and I knew, like, I remember when I first came in, right? They were trying to pass parole in the federal system. I think that was '05 or '06,
Right.
and it made it pretty far. And just at the, I think it was I can't remember who it was, but he took it when it made it all the way to the Senate, right? It passed the House, made it to the Senate, and then
Right.
what's his name for the Senate took it and put it back. He said he wasn't going to hear anything about no federal parole, right?
Right.
And just killed everybody's hopes in that moment. So I was there for it because, I mean, like at Mariana, they were going around posting notifications from the court that they were
Right.
hiring like 900 new probation officers getting ready for parole. Like everybody thought that parole was coming back to the
Right.
federal
Exactly.
system.
I heard the same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you were federal with me. We were both on the
Right.
feds. So it was,
Yeah.
but those last couple years, you know, when they came with the 2 levels and then, you know, the crack law and things, it eased a lot of tension. Like it was getting to the point to where it was going to get really, really bad.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because I mean, it was a point, man. I mean, I probably had done about, I don't know, maybe about 9 years or something, and I didn't see no hope in it. And I was like, man, you start giving up hope with it. And but hey, when that came through, man, I mean, God, it helped a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's how we all ended up into the low. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Into the minimum security. We got into the
right.
low where we ended up running into each other at Miami Fci. And there is where, you know, we ran across low, which we were all in the same unit. You were there before I was.
Right.
And did you have interaction? Was you already messing with Low beforehand? Was you and Low already tight by that time? Or did we all just kind of just come together?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I know for some reason it happened,
Yeah.
and it's and we all got close together. It was all cool.
Well,
And
Low was my smoking partner.
yeah,
You know, we would go to how Low and I ran across each other is you know, we buy the little paper sacks, you know, for
mm-hmm.
the weed or whatnot, and we
Yeah.
would always be looking for places to blow. And then, you know, you would
I don't
always,
even know how I got it. That's probably how I got to meet you, man. Because I really don't. I can't remember, man. I really can't remember.
well, yeah, you met me. We kind of started uh, coming together when you would come into the room. Like I would be over there hanging out. Low and I would be over
Oh,
there
okay.
smoked
Yeah,
out
okay.
because
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Low and I would sit in the cell, man. We would sit in the cell for hours, man, and just we would smoke, we would blow, and just sit and we would philosophize on everything.
Yeah, okay.
Remember
You were,
that?
yeah,
Remember
you
how
were
we would
good
just
at
sit in
that.
the cell, man, and we would just break things. I mean, we went through the Bible. word for word. We're breaking down sentences of what they could mean. And we knew that Mike was, into the Bible a little bit, or religion or somewhat. And then Hope, remember Hope?
Yeah, I remember Hope.
Remember Hope? We would pull Hope into our conversations. You know what I mean? And we'd have big old arguments there in the dorm and such. But Lo, I ended up having to. Lo was in the cell with several people. He had a couple roommates. Prince was his roommate.
Prince was one of them
when I met him, and Prince was there with him for the longest.
Right.
But as with most handicapped people in prison, it's not their fault, but they're hard people to cell with, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's in a wheelchair, who's paralyzed, and not only that, but Lo had a colostomy bag as well. You know,
of course. Yeah.
So that kind of wore on Prince, and then they kind of fell out there at the end because they were cellies for a while. You know what I mean? We used to kick it or whatnot, and then I guess Prince just kind of grew tired or whatnot and moved out and kind of but he was Lo's caretaker. He was the one that would push Lo everywhere, made sure he got the medical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when that relationship dissolved, it kind of left Lo out there by himself. He didn't really have that caretaker no more. You know, so I kind of started pushing him, me and what was his cellie's name, that the young kid that went in there with him. I don't think you were there then at that time, no, because we had talked about this already. But it was essentially, it was I that was pushing Freddy J, around, making sure he gets meals and such. And it just makes you think, right? When you're involved in something like that, how much how uncaring prison can be towards, these medically frail people. Now at the institution, what institution did you start at?
Coleman.
You was at Coleman. Wasn't you in a wheelchair program?
And I did. Funny you say that, because see, every institution I went to, I pushed somebody in the wheelchair. Every institution. When I was in Coleman, I pushed somebody in a wheelchair. I took care of them. When I came to Miami, I pushed Lo for a little while. When I went to Butler, I pushed them for a little while. Every institution I went to, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if I felt sorry for people or whatever the case may be, but I just felt the need to help somebody. And I'm not patting myself on the back or anything like that, but the thing was, it just happened like that. Every place I went to, I pushed somebody in a wheelchair. Every place I went to. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the point of tonight's talk.
Yeah.
Is just kind of just because it's both of us who have this experience, and it was very humbling, because when you think about it internally, like, I know my time was hard. You know what I mean? Like, my time was friggin' hard. You know what I mean? And here is somebody that's in a wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down, doing the same time I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it was inspiring. Freddy J was very, inspirational for me. But he was a good dude, man. Freddy J was a cool ass dude, and I hate speaking about him in the past tense like this. It really hurts my heart because Freddy J and I had a lot of plans coming home. And like what I'm doing right now, he was supposed to be on the screen with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we had plans, like this stuff was planned coming home, because he was going home. He had a 5-year bid. What ended up happening, like any other person, in the hood, coming out of the projects, trying to survive, right? He wasn't a dope dealer until he got shot. And then once he had got shot, right, he had to survive. Everything changed. So he had to survive. He had to be, he had to push his little dope out on the corner, and he's in a wheelchair. So what does that mean? The man has to carry a pistol with him, or he will never eat, because people will just push over his wheelchair, steal his dope, steal his money, and be done with it. So all of that goes hand in hand. But ultimately, he ended up getting caught with a little bit of crack. They did find a pistol with him. This was his first offense, and they gave him 5 years in prison as a paralyzed person. So that was what he was in prison for. And all of us were kind of going home around the same time. So, we're just like, man, listen, man, you go home when? Man, I go home right after this here. And I'm going to get this nonprofit going. I'm going to get this podcast thing going, but I just didn't get it up in time,
Right.
But you were closer to Freddie outside because you were down south.
Yeah, for sure.
So you were closer to him outside on what he was really going through out here as a returning citizen.
Right. So when he got out and I got out and stuff, I actually went to talk to him, and I actually went and talked to him when he was staying with I think it was I don't know, with his sister or somebody, but anyway. And
yeah,
then
it was his sister. Sick. He was staying with his cousin for a little bit, and then he went to his sister's house. And then I remember he was trying to get to Naples or Fort Myers or something like that.
Right, and then he got sick, and then I seen him a couple of times in the hospital, but we stayed in contact. I try to stay in contact with him because we all going through everything. So, I was going through my thing, so I'm trying to hang out with him and trying to do my thing at the same time. So, but yeah, I stayed in contact with him now. For sure, because that was my boy now.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sad thing of it was as much as I tried to keep in contact with him, he wouldn't let me come see him because I told him I wanted to come down and see him, and he's like, "Man, I don't want you to come see me like this. You know what I mean? I don't want you to come see me like this, and I'm not right. I want to get right before you come down." And he would never let me come see him. You know what I mean? And then towards the end, it's like he just kind of cut ties with me, almost kind of like he knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So I never even got to see my dog since I've been out.
I don't know why that was, man, because I seen him. I had another friend right up here when I told you, like, I was at Butler, and he the same thing. The same thing with him. He was in a wheelchair. I've been out. I've been seeing him. I've been talking to him. He's still hanging in there. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. But I've been trying to keep in touch with everybody I was pushing, everybody I was trying to help out there. Yeah.
It's what we do. It's because it's like you say, you pushing the wheelchair in the prison. You don't know why, you just did it because that's your character. That's who you are, and that's why you trying to maintain contact with people. That's just who you are. When you know that you got, listen, man. What we've been through, when you find good people, loyal people that don't lie, you know what I mean, and is straight up, like you do everything you can do to try to hold on to that person. Right. You know what I mean? Because that shit is rare.
Yeah, it's very rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
It's rare. People are only there for you. Like, people will only be there for you or help you at their convenience. Mm-hmm. As long as it's convenient for them. Right. But if it's not convenient for them, man, these people that you thought were your friends, man, these people come up with every excuse in the book as to why they can't give you a hand.
Exactly.
But when you run across somebody that like has been proven, when you ask some, man, no question, let's go do it. Hey, man, no question, I got you. Just give me back whatever.
Yeah.
These are rare people.
Yeah.
They just do it from the heart, and they're not looking for nothing in return. You know?
Yeah, because we do what we're gonna say. We're gonna do whatever we say we're gonna do. We're gonna do it, and that's just it. And that's all I ask for anybody else. If you tell me you're gonna do something, just do it.
Well, that's what I always loved about you, man. That's why I always kept in contact with you, because you were just always Mike and nothing more. You know what I mean?
I ain't got nothing else to give, man.
These people done took it from us, man.
It took everything, man.
So how you doing coming home being a returning citizen?
No, I'm cool, man. I could have did a lot of other things. I could have did, man, but I'm all right now. You know, I'm working. I'm doing what I want to do. As far as my family, I just try to look out for them the best I can. It ain't all about me no more. I'm of age right now, so I don't look at things far as looking at things for me. I'm looking at things for my grandkids, anybody else, but not me, because my days are short,
Mm.
you know. And I tell people that. People don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I do, I'm doing it for them, and I hope they understand what I'm doing. Yeah, it ain't about me no more. At one time it was, I thought it was, you know. I was out there doing my thing, but nah, it ain't about me.
No.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, and that's it, man. It's realizing that, oh Lord, what happened? What happened, man? Let's see if he calls back. We got disconnected. Here he goes. Yo. Mike. Mike. Mike is not a very tech savvy person. Most of these guys coming out, man, they're not. It took a lot, and I think the reason why I caught on so quick is because I used to mess with computers before I went in. I mean, I went in before MySpace came out. Mike, where you at, Mike? Let me try to call you back. I went in before MySpace came out, and so I had no internet knowledge, no social media knowledge, but sitting in prison watching what was going on inside of prison gave me that knowledge. You know what I mean? Somewhat. It hit me to the game. So when I came out, I knew not to make a lot of the mistakes that people were making all the years prior. I don't know what happened to Mike. I lost Mike. But let's see if Mike calls back. But as promised, I'm gonna try to keep these shows within a half hour or such. But that's the main thing, man. That's the main thing. I wanted to pay tribute to. Let me go back to my and then if Mike calls back in, we'll bring him back in. But I wanted to pay tribute to my friend. Again, I meant everything that I said in the show about the inspiration, the help, and sometimes in life we just have to understand that people come and people go. One thing that prison taught me is to understand that, right? Because we go through so much trauma inside. We'll get celly after celly after celly, and mind you, you may be in the cell with this person for 2 or 3 years, 5 years, sometimes 10 years or more, and all of a sudden you come back to your cell and that person is not there anymore. It's just as if this person that went out to the store and got killed in a drive-by. It's the same principle, right? It's the same emotions. This person that you've been in this intimate surrounding with, right? A bathroom. You've been living in a bathroom with this person for years. You know every detail about this person. And then he's gone and you never hear, never see. You don't know whether they're dead, alive. You don't know anything. And then before you can even process that, you got a new guy coming in and you got to start processing that of who this person is, because again, it's all about survival inside. And You don't know if this person is a pedophile moving into your cell. You just have to go through that whole process all over again, and that just it's just a reoccurring thing. So maybe that desensitizes us, when it comes to death and such, because there's just been so much experience in those emotions, dealing with the departing. But it it's hard, it's hard, and even to this day I think about people that I've met inside, how they're doing, how their life is going. I wish them well. These, like you heard Big Mike say, like, these are good human beings, man, who just got caught up in a manipulative system, just got caught up in a manipulative system, or was in a manipulative system their whole life, spawning from childhood, and just made some egregious mistakes, some bad decisions, but that doesn't take away the fact that they're bad people. They're good people. This is why I do what I do, to try to bring light that we have almost 3 million people incarcerated. And are we saying that we have 3 million people who are just evil, that cannot be part of society in any kind of fashion, that we have to have these people incarcerated? Big Mike just said call him back. Let me call him back so he can give a proper goodbye. And then we'll get out of here and let you guys get on your Saturday night. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Miss Tasha, thank you for joining in. I pray that this audience will grow. I'm sure that it will, as everything else has been. I mean, Mike, you tell me to call you back, Mike, and then you don't even answer the phone. Mike isn't online. Tell him again, smiley face. All right. Anyhow, that's enough of that. We'll have Mike on periodically from time to time. So don't even sweat that. Again, make sure, please, to visit www.cominghomecoalition.com. See everything that we got going on here in the Tampa Bay area. That's the charity. You can go to the events tab, see what we're trying to get accomplished here within the next month or so. So please keep your donations coming. Please keep your items, whatever you want to call them, coming, if that's what you choose or how you choose to donate. But please keep them coming so we can get this thing off and popping, get our first fundraiser going. And I will live stream that so the people can see where their money goes. That's what's important to me. Again, I'm here for the people. That's how I'm advertising myself. That's how I'm marketing myself. But most importantly, that's how I'm living my life, is for the people. So I want the people to see that I'm that medium for them. So if you want to help the homeless, you want to help the addicted, the addiction in any kind of way, know that that's what I'm out here doing. And you can stand behind me and support me by going to www.cominghomecoalition.com. Check out the sponsors that I have there in the bottom. And if you see any of those, you could just click on the link. It'll take you right there. The ThomasFreeMeShow.com. You can check me out there. That's my page. That's still a work in progress. Other than that, as I said, I'm going to keep continuing to go live Tuesdays and Saturday nights. I've defined that Tuesday is going to be my information night, most importantly. So I'll be sharing a lot of news, information, things of that nature. If people want to give shout outs, anything of that. So that's a work in progress as well. So, but I will be going live Tuesdays at 8. And then Saturdays is really just kind of just kick back and chill, If you want to come on the show and you want to talk about something, You can find me on Skype, download Skype, Thomas Free Me, search Thomas Free Me, and send me a message. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll bring you on and kick it. We can talk about whatever, man, you know, as long as we keep it respectful, we keep it legit, and we keep it about we the people. We keep it about, you know, what's going on in America, you know, but that avenue is open. So other than that, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. It's been real fun. Tonight has been a blast. Going back, man, I miss my friend. I do. I really miss my friend. I wish I had somebody that I could just sit back and reminisce with and talk like how me and this man talk. You know, but like I say, sometimes people just come into our lives for short times. You know, so it's just appreciating that short time that we had with that human being and trying to learn as much as we can, you know, from that human being. No matter who that human being is, we can learn from anybody. So Mr. Freddy J, you taught me a lot, brother, and you really, really helped me define the person that I've really grown to love. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming into my life, and I hope that you're smooth sailing, partner. Salute to you. The rest of my family, I'll catch you on Tuesday night, or I'll catch you on Facebook. Either way, be good, man. Start being kind to people. No matter how they treat you, be kind to them. Just be a kind person and know that that is what humanity needs. This is what we need. Don't do it for return. Do it because you're just a kind person and you just love being kind. And that's what we need. So until Saturday night. Today's Saturday. Tuesday night, man. I'll catch up with y'all. Thomas Free Me, man. I'm out. One love.